Peace, prosperity, and abundance. Peace, prosperity, and abundance. We are back with another upload, and we're going to talk about the 11th and 12th house, as you all know. But before we get into that, I'm trying to figure if I want to do that. Do I want to do that? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like if I really wanted to do like an affirmation jar this time, but because I feel like I always do them, but you know what the hell? Why not? We'll go ahead and pull one for the affirmation jar. If you're new, welcome to Earth Goddess TV. Basically, what I talk about on this channel is anything dealing with astrology or spirituality. Welcome if you're new. Hope you stay. Earth Goddess gang, y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we get down over here. So for the newbies, you know this is new. It's like the confirmation, affirmation / word of the day jar that I kind of made, and I basically randomly put my little hand in here and pick one out and read it, and we go with those messages, then we jump right into astrology. Okay, family, so a lot of these came out, so I'm only gonna pick up maybe 2 or 3. Okay, so this one is actually, I forgot I put this fortune in here. This is a fortune. It says you are guided by love and friendship. I don't know how much of that y'all able to see, but that's what it says. You are guided by love and friendship. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but that is actually a good space to be in life when you're guided by positive forces and when you're guided and you walk in love and peace and light in everything that you do. And when I talk about peace, love, and light, no, I don't mean a light that blinds you. We still want you to be light, but we want you to be able to see through that light as well. Because when you're blinded, you cannot see. So we don't mean that type of light. So you are guided by love and friendships. That was the first one. And the second one here, okay, family, we have abundance. Okay, now if you feel like you may not be experiencing a lot of abundance in your life, maybe there's some abundance coming in. Maybe you need to practice maybe having more of an attitude of gratitude. Or maybe, you know, there may be an abundance of something coming your way. Okay. Oh, and this last one here, family, 1111. So you all know 1111 is an angel number. It definitely represents that power number, that master number of new beginnings. So if you've been seeing this number, whether it's just the number 11, 1111, or seeing these in bigger numbers, you're seeing synchronicities, you know, that may be a sign that the good things are coming or new beginnings are coming. Or it can also be a wake-up call to change certain things in your life when you do see angel numbers as well, if you're not currently in the frequency that you would like to be in. Okay, so that is it. Family, let's go ahead and jump right into this astrology. So today, family, I'm going to go ahead and get this out the way because I was editing today and I don't know what's going on with the system I'm using. So you probably won't get all the perks and the bells and the whistles that's normally as far as in the editing that's normally in my videos, because I don't know what happened this morning and I was not in the mood to fight with this. So we're just going to rock with this. So basically, and I do not like the Jaguars. This hoodie is very comfortable because I'm very cold, but I'm not a fan of the Jaguars. So if you see me with this, please do not come for me. I do not like this team. Anywho, okay. So, family, when you're talking about the sun in the 11th house, so as you all know, we all know the sun equals basically your ego, how you show up in the world, your vitality. So when you're entering in the 11th house, the 11th house represents basically groups, friends, society. The sole purpose here is to express themselves through, you know, either their friendships, that would be a main theme in their life, their relationships in their family, or just probably work relationships or business relationships. Basically the whole theme of the sun being here is basically relationships and partnerships and groups and just things of that nature. So these natives are normally more concerned with the well-being of other people and how they show up in the lives of other people's, you know, basically people that are close to them, or how they show up in society, you know. So for me, when I think of a sun in the 11th house, I feel like the career, a great career for a sun in the 11th house, because you have to understand these are people who like to work with groups. And normally, when I find people who like to work with groups, they're more like activists for people and rights. So, careers for a sun in the 11th house that I think would fit perfect. Anything in behavior, being a drug counselor, behavior counselor, social workers, any type of therapist. So just any career where they can actually either lead people or get people to come to a common shared goal for the overall well-being of the say a group or a group of people. So good traits for a sun in the 11th house. Other problem solvers, because normally when these people are group or say people oriented, they like to solve problems or put themselves in a position to solve problems for other people. So they can also be great friends. Actually, yeah, they can be very great friends. I don't know if you've ran into these people, but these are the people who are like basically know all of their friends' business from front to back and basically are heavily invested in, either their friends' life and their personal affairs. And they can also be very open minded as well. Now, on the negative end, like I mentioned before, these people, they can be a little nosy because they're very attentive people. So they have an attentive nature, so that's what makes them good friends. But on the negative side of that, they can be too nosy, too overbearing, too invested in maybe the well being of other people and other people's lives. So they have to be careful of that. Also, too, depending on what sign is here as well, they can be people pleasers and they can be, how can I put this? You ever run into those women who overly coddle their men? They can be over coddlers as well. So you want to be careful with that, the sun in the 11th house. My advice to the sun in the 11th house would be there's nothing wrong with having a natural love and a talent for the well-being or wanting to work with people, but you have to make sure that you don't cross up and confuse your individual needs and wants with the needs of other people. So you have to make sure there's a line and there's a boundary. So you do not want to lose yourself in your interactions, whether that be your personal relationships with your friends, your family, your business partnerships, your work relationships, whatever relationships you maybe decide to put yourself in. Make sure you do not lose your identity in those relationships because you're still an individual person and that you do not need these partnerships to reach the level of full potential you're looking to reach. So keep that in mind, sun in the 11th house. You have great qualities, just don't lose yourself and get caught up in your love for wanting to work with people. So that is it for the sun in the 11th house. Make sure you set up for the sun in 12th house upload. All right, peace, prosperity, and abundance. Peace, prosperity, and abundance. Let's get it, family. Now we are in the upload of the 12th house. And with the sun in the 12th house, family, let's hop right into it. Okay, now when we talk about the sun, of course, we all know it represents, your vitality, how you show up, your ego, things of that nature. But your sun is entering in the 12th house. I won't even lie. If I had this placement, I probably would not be the happiest person. But, that's no jab to my sun in 12 houses because, this energy is with you for a reason. So, let's continue. So, with the 12th house, we're looking at self-undoing, healing, spirituality, healing, endings, things of that nature. So the sole purpose here is to basically embrace the uneasy subjects in life because you're going to experience a lot of this stuff. And, depending on what sign it's in, it can manifest in different ways. So you're meant to go through these experiences, but you're meant to go through them so you can actually transform and integrate these into your reality and your personality so that you're able to possibly help and heal others. So this is a very unique placement as well. So when you're thinking about a career for a sun in 12th house, you have to understand these natives, they're not really like A personality type people. A lot of them like alone time simply because, a lot of uh, the time they're not really being themselves. They're normally like playing a role or just going through the motions of playing a role. And a lot of the time, I find with the Sun and 12th house people that a lot of times, a lot of the times with these natives, they really don't have, again, like I mentioned before, the type A personalities. So there may be flaws that either they're aware of or they're not really aware of. So a lot of the time they're playing the world because they're not really comfortable with being who they are, because a lot of the time they probably don't get the best response from people when they show people who they really are. And it's not to say that they're bad people. It's just, the sun is placed here, in a heavier house. So a lot of the time, they have a lot of heavy stuff on their mind. I mean, so you can just imagine what type of personality that would manifest in. Um, but careers for these natives would be anything in the psychic, medium, healing realm. I mean, because it's so connected to, the self undoing and the healings, and spirituality. And what these natives can do is use those energies and those traumas to basically heal and transform themselves, and also show people how to do that as well. And that can be very powerful. So, just having psychic or being able to be a psychic or have medium abilities or any type of healing, uh, maybe if you're not so much in the spiritual, I know a lot of these people probably like to live like a stress-free life. So anything probably dealing with nature or art, drawing, that would be a suitable role for the natives with the 12th house. Now, good traits for the natives in the care house, they are caring people. They're very intuitive. They find their strength in solitude. And, that's really a good trait to have because, a lot of the time people can't sit with themselves, and, they have to be distracted or have people within their space to feel comfortable. And these people naturally feel comfortable being on their own. And this is how they find basically their gems. So, negative traits for this placement, you will have to think, probably prone to depression, problems expressing themselves, because, with this placement here, is they, when they do express themselves, maybe they've had, a lot of resistance. So they'll be very hesitant. They'll be more comfortable playing a role versus being who they really are. So they never really show who they are. So they can be really shy, and if they are, say, in the public eye, they'll definitely be playing a role and not really being themselves, like I mentioned before. So, they may be, depending on, again, the placement or the sign that's here, they may be dependent or maybe addicted to substances and things of that nature. But all in all, this is definitely, a placement that is here to be like something here for this earth as far as in healing for the collective. So that is definitely a good side, if you do have this sun placed here in the 12th house. So my advice to, the natives with the sun in the 12th house, be yourself unapologetically. You are here to experience these things for self transformation ultimately. So once you get to a point to where you're able to embrace all of you and heal those parts of yourself, you can be a force to be reckoned with. And you can be, like a healer, for the masses or other people, because, you experience and know how it is to go through the shadows and the darkness of life. So that will basically complete my sun and the House of Series family. Thank you so much for bearing through these series with me, and I will see you all on the next upload.